So we are here at Sarade Cave. It's one of the best coastal restaurants in New Delhi, and we are going to be trying out this seafood set menu along with some vegetarian dishes also. So just stay with me as I take you through the part of my thali that's already set up. I'm just going to be telling you about the dishes and how they're going to be. Okay, so I have obviously the ubiquitous appams right here. So that's taken all of these dishes. There's a chicken ghee roast. Okay, sorry, people are arguing over there, but it's okay. So we've got the chicken ghee roast, we've got the mushroom virwal, we've got the prawns in butter garlic sauce, and we've got some lotus stem in kali mirch, that's black pepper. There's also fried kingfish right here, which we're gonna dig into, and I have quite an interesting cocktail along with me, which is the Cool Tea Martini made with Cool coffee. So let's just dig in. Let me just dig into all the food that I have in front of me now that it's quieted down in the restaurant. So what we have here is the chicken ghee roast. That's something that I've always, liked to try out whenever I've gone down to coastal South India. Very interesting dish. It's got a very strong flavor of clarified butter. That's something that hits you the moment you try to you can cut into it or whenever the dish comes to your table itself. Amazing, smell. The chicken's quite soft and it's got that rich, tangy, spicy flavor that you associate with the coastal part of South India. The next dish that we're going to be bringing in is the mushroom virwal. This has got some curry leaves on top of it, and this is going to be good. Again, a big hit of spices, but it's not as hot as you think it to be. It's something that's quite okay on the palate and gives a very beautiful flavor of the mushroom. So the prawns look quite enticing in here as well, and it's got a really good strong hit of garlic and subtle creaminess, which kind of lends a balance to the palate right here, because you've got a whole lot of spices and a whole lot of heat, especially the lotus stem kali mirch. So this prawns just add that subtle hint of balance to this whole plate itself. Finally, I'm going to dig into the lotus stem with kali mirch. This is going to be the hottest one, so bear with me. That's absolutely the right spot. And we also dig into this kingfish. It's really tempting. Just squeeze some lemon over it. And take it. Really good.
Check.
There's this hit of spices right on top of it. The fish is quite flaky and it's got a huge hit of spice that comes over on it. There's a lot of heat in it. Good. So guys, we are on to the main courses now. Now I've got 4 different curries in front of me, 3 different Indian breads, rotis, and some coconut rice. So let's just dig in from the mildest to the one with the most punchy flavors, and let's see how we kind of go along. So what we have here is the Malabari vegetable stew, which as you can see out here, it's based mainly with coconut milk. But the whole thing of majority of dishes from Malabar which do happen will have a variation from the coconut milk to the coconut cream. So you know how you get the flavors of the coconut will depend on how thick your coconut cream is. So what we have here is the lightest version of the dish. It's a coconut milk, some amount of coconut cream too, and some crunchy vegetables, which I'm gonna dig in with this appam. It's always gonna be thick in the middle and really, really soft. Now it's going to have this, characteristic sweetness that makes this really amazing. And this is one of the most, homecoming dishes that you can probably have from the south of India. It's really homely. It's really good soul food, I would say. Mm. Really lovely flavor on this one. Okay, now let's move on to the Malabari fish curry. Now this is coconut milk mixed with Malabari spices and the fish. For this, I'll dig into the neer dosa, which is again very very soft. As you can see, it's so thin. Now this fish curry has that characteristic tang and a hit of ginger that you can go through the dish. Although you expect it to be quite spicy, but it's really moderate on the spices itself. The coconut cream kind of like tempers all of it down, and the amount of tang that you get, it makes this dish really interesting. Okay, let's move on. Now we've got a chickpea dish, which again comes from the south of India. Now this is from the Mangalore region, and it's got spinach along with it. So let's see how this one is. For this, I'm going to dig into the flaky Malabari paratha, which is going to make this dish. Obviously, it's quite spicy, and it gives really good flavors on the palate itself. Follow it up with this chicken curry, which looks really nice. I'm just gonna dig into the rice with this one, the coconut rice. And this has got a very predominant flavor of coconut in it, along with some coconut shavings. Now, although you'd expect this again to be very mild on the palate itself, it's not going to be burning up your palate. The coconut kind of like dresses it down, and that's what it's characteristic of the coastal region. They use the coconut milk and the coconut cream to just infuse that amount of smoothness into the dish, the richness, and take out all the heat from the spices itself. This has got really lovely, coconut shavings put right into it, and this gives the dish, the chicken, a whole new texture altogether. So let me just finish this all off when I come back to you with the results. So we are on to the sweet endings now. What we have here are three very traditional South Indian coastal desserts. What we have here for the first one is the payasam. Obviously, every home makes its own payasam, but this one is supposed to be from the home that actually created Sanadige. So we're going to be digging into it in just a minute. You've got a ragi malli, which is basically made out of ragi flour combined with coconut milk and stuff. And another one is what we've got, a carrot halwa. Like, this is something that you'd find in most, a lot of parts of India. But these two are traditional South Indian desserts that you will not find anywhere else. Let me just dig into them and let you know how the flavors are. But this, I've been told, is something that's really special, and you will not find a payasam like this anywhere else. As usual, it's thick, creamy, coconutty consistencies already there. So it's made out of some really young coconuts. Okay, and they've got these small, really beautiful chunks which you actually can have like malai itself, because with the young coconut, the flavors are very sweet, yet the chunks that are there are quite tender. Put on some elaichi on top of it, and it's got a really amazing flavor and really amazing consistency. And you can see right here, it's so amazing. I can just go on and on about this. Moving on, I'll move on to the Ragi Malli, which looks quite like a gelatinous jello kind of a dessert, which you can dig into. Just a bit more firmer than a jello. It's got a very beautiful earthy texture that you can characterize with ragi flour all the time. Spread some, chopped peanuts and stuff on top. Now I'm going to dig into the gajar ka halwa, the final one. And this is going to be, I think, an explosion of flavors, as expected. But I'm going to be digging back into the spices again. There's something that I really enjoy. It's quite subtle, it's quite light, but it's got a really amazing royal finish that I'm going to, finish off.